Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching NowMedia Television.
Hello and welcome to Peggy's Talk. I'm your host, Peggy Robinson, your friend and your realtor. And I want to thank you guys for watching me again. You know, last month was Black History Month, and this is already March. And, you know, I would tell people, if you're when you make it to March, we just getting ready to march on, right? We're just gonna march on through this. So I wanted to thank everybody who did watch my Black History Month, and it was so awesome. I want to thank everybody that came on to the show. I appreciate you guys so much. And I want you guys now to take out a pencil and paper. Remember, if you would like to come on my show, text me. Do not call me. Text me at 832-720-2843. That's 832-720-2843. And come on to this show. This is the best way you can advertise your business, and it's a reasonable price. Tell them when you're coming on that Peggy told you to come on when you call the station or when you email Nancy at NowMedia.tv. And you guys, you can always reach us and see us. You can always see us on Houston channel 21.10, and we got the Beaumont channel, which is 27.10, and you can reach us almost everywhere. Okay, so just call in, email, and come on to the show. Okay, and now I'm gonna let y'all know I'm with one of my good friends. I think she's been my friend now at least 2 years. She's beautiful. I met her through my daughter at one of the events, and I want to introduce you guys to my friend Nikki. I call you Nikki, but it's Nicole, right? Nicole Smith. There you go, girl. Come on. Now I'm going to introduce you. Hi, Nicole. I know your name is Nicole, but
yes.
We call you Nikki, right?
Yes, you can call me Nikki. So thank you for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today. I know you've been a realtor. How long have you been a realtor?
So I've been a realtor, been practicing real estate for about 4 years.
Okay.
I came from the financial industry. And I was in the retirement plan industry, to be specific, for over 13 years.
Wow.
And so in my journey, I found a love for real estate. I have family members that have built their wealth and legacy through real estate.
Okay.
And so here I am today practicing real estate and specializing in commercial investments and helping business owners and individuals build their legacy and wealth.
Well, that's why I admired you and I brought you on today, because I know that you do real estate in commercial. And with me, you helped me out with one of my transactions. And if I wouldn't have known you did that, and which I didn't know for a while, but once I found out that you did it, I had a client to call me and I didn't know what to tell her. I didn't know what to do. And I called you and I said, hey, I have this client. She wants to buy 8 acres, and I didn't even know who to do the financing with. And so will you elaborate on some of the vendors and stuff that you work along with?
Yeah, so I am always a resource. I believe that building your success, you have to share knowledge. And so one of the vendors that I use for land purchases is Capital Farm Credit.
Oh, I know.
So if you have any clients that are looking to purchase a piece of land and possibly build their dream home or legacy on that property, then Capital Farm Credit is one of the trusted lenders I use for that purpose.
Okay, and that's the only one you use? You have other
that's my go-to for now for land sales.
Okay.
For the purposes of building your primary residence.
Okay, so do you do land in Houston only, all over Houston only, or where else do you do that?
Yeah, so I practice real estate and service Dallas and Houston.
Okay.
So both of those metropolitan areas. And for commercial investments, I cover all of Texas.
Okay.
So if you have anyone that has a need to dispose or acquire commercial real estate, which, as far as commercial, that could be acquiring any retail centers, office spaces, land, farm and ranch, there's a many types of commercial investments you can be working in. So I help agents a lot. I get a lot of referrals from other agents
Yeah.
that need assistance or just serving as a resource. So if you're an agent, hey, give me a call. I can help you support your clients, and that way you don't send off your clients to another space where you don't have control over.
Right.
I can help you. And I always like to say,
I love you. Just go ahead.
I always like to say for real estate agents that specialize in residential, that if you do allow me to help you, that if that client does want to purchase a home in a residential area, I won't do that. I'll send them back to you.
Okay.
That seems to be a worry of some agents in referring me the commercial or referring any commercial business. So if I'm working with your client, then I'm going to work with them strictly with the commercial needs.
Well, I feel real comfortable with you because I know when I was trying to do another transaction, which was really huge, and I just was like afraid of it, and I knew you can handle it. And even though, we went and you did so much research, what do it all entails to go from, because people come to me and they might say, I want a house, and then they say, but I want land, and I want to build. So, and then I just get afraid, and I just feel comfortable to say, hey, I think that's what's wrong with some realtors. We want to do it all. We don't want to just pass our client on to someone else. But if you really care about the client, you're going to give it to somebody with more knowledge. And I think that's what I tried to do when I had this overwhelmed project. Will you tell us how because you just surprised me. You came back you surprised me with that whole thing. But tell me what all you do when you be doing this research.
Yeah, so like in that situation, we were looking to help list a property, which was a farm and ranch.
Right.
And so one of the first things I did was we went out to understand your client's wants and needs,
Right.
and knowing how he wants to list the property.
Right.
So what I did is took that information and started doing research on finding comparable properties.
Right.
And then finding really just the best use of that property. So
right.
in that instance, that would be perfect for a residential development.
Development, yeah.
And so since that was the best and highest use for that property,
Right.
I then started to work with the local development council.
Wow.
And so that development
So-
council had tons of incentives for any developer or purchaser that would come in and turn that into a residential neighborhood because they were trying to expand
Right.
and enhance the town that we
Right.
were in. And so from that, I took all the information and then provided, of course, you're familiar with the comparative market analysis
Right.
For that type of property. And that was really, as far as on a high level,
Right.
but it depends on the type of transaction that we're dealing with because a land sale could be totally different from a farm and ranch. And
Well, see,
that could
I
be
don't know,
totally
you're telling me a lot of
different.
stuff. Are y'all listening? Because
I can go
I'm just
on and on about it.
But just go ahead, finish telling, because I'm just, really, to tell you the truth, Nikki, even though I've been in real estate now, this is my 4th year, I'm still only comfortable with buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So, what made you decide not to be just a residential, to not just do residential, to go into commercial? What made you like it that much? Because I know it ought to be more work, don't you? Is it more work?
Yeah, it's more work. It involves more analytical skills.
Oh yeah.
And so, because of my experience in the financial industry,
Right.
And serving in different roles, I have a specific and unique skill set.
Right.
And that I flourish in working in that skill set.
Right,
And
right.
part of that is being analytical. I always put a project manager hat on because that's what I had to do in that field.
Right.
And so that's why I started to specialize in commercial because I flourish in that area, and I know how to speak to investors that are that have those investments, and I
Right.
speak their language.
Right.
I'm more comfortable in that arena, so that's really why I started to do commercial, and I wanted to also help others that look like me.
Right.
And as you know, commercial agents only we only represent 1% of commercial agents.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
so
that.
yeah,
Getting
so
knowledge.
there are plenty of people that are interested in building their wealth and legacy, and one of the common ways is to tap into the commercial real estate for your investments. So that's another reason why I wanted to specialize in the area and to help people like me that have businesses and that want to dispose or acquire commercial investments, and also just need to enhance their portfolio.
Wow, that's great. Because I also want to ask you, when I was, do you think it's a certain area of Houston that's growing more than any other area? Would you suggest a certain area that you think, because I always, for some reason, just like Conroe. I mean, I had always said I was going to buy me some property and build it in Conroe. But don't we have to know the certain things we can do if we want to build? You can't just say I want to build a tiny home. So isn't it, you have to go to certain areas?
So to answer your first question, one of the fastest growing areas is northeast.
Oh, okay.
Northeast of the Houston area.
Right.
So that would be along the future plans of the expansion of 99.
Right.
That takes you from Montgomery, West Montgomery County to East Montgomery County, all the way up to the Dayton area. So those are the areas that are expanding pretty rapidly. There's lots of future plans to do that. In regards to what other things that you have to consider if you had a business and you wanted to, for instance, purchase a property for that use.
Right.
Of course, you would have to check with the local development council to see if there are any zoning requirements for that property.
Right.
And if you're able to change it, because sometimes they allow you to change the zoning. For example, the city of Houston doesn't have any.
So that's
why you may see a really nice luxury townhome, and it's next to some odd type of business.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's why you see that there. But in other cities, they do have zoning and so that's one of the things you can do is just check with the local development council.
But I didn't even know. When you had said, when I asked you what area you thought, I know what's going on in my area now because I live north. I think it's northeast is where I live. Yeah. Because you just said Dayton. I didn't even know. I just know I live north. Yeah. Because I know they are building right now. If you haven't been back in a while, because you came by my house I guess you came by about 6 months ago. Well, since you haven't been back around,
I've been in Humble.
You've been to Humble?
Yeah.
Oh, girl. But
I'm all over.
You all over know. But do you see that they are spending, 4 lanes on each side? Is it 3 lanes on each side? And I heard they finna do an overpath or whatever, a bridge going over into what it just seems like it's gonna be a whole ton of things that's going on. So that means it's a lot of more ways for people to come out there and start buying properties, and make sure they call Nikki when they get ready to buy their property, right?
So what we find lately, a lot of investors are having a big success in the industrial and multi-family investment properties. So
I'm all into you today, girl, because I don't know nothing about commercial. Because I'm glad that you were able to talk to me about it, because I just feel like this is going to be an upcoming thing. And people are going to be, they come and moving here, they're going to be asking more about it. And I know I want to be able to say, call my friend, call my girl Nikki. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I interrupt. So
no,
go ahead.
Fine.
Go ahead.
Yeah, those are the 2 main areas. If you were just thinking about getting started, or if you're out of town and you wanted to come to Texas in the Houston metropolitan area to invest in commercial real estate, those are the 2 areas: industrial and multifamily, especially multifamily, as we know about the affordable housing crisis now. We do need more inventory and more even for renters. There's going to be a challenge for people to find homes that are affordable. So those are the 2 areas you want to look into if you wanted to invest in commercial real estate.
Well, it's just like overwhelming, because I know
I love this stuff.
You love it, and I guess you love it because you like you said, you was working in your previous.
It's my
job.
My mind, the way it works. I am a super analytical person. As we're talking, I'm thinking about I have some things going on in the back of my head.
It's
crunching
some good
numbers.
Stuff that you want to put out in front of the camera. This is some good stuff because as I have known you, I have called you because I know that you are real structured and you want things done. And I'm kind of the person that's all over the place. And I want to tell you that I really appreciate all your help you have done for me to try to help me get more structure, even though you baby and I'm, so that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't worry about that you older like me and then you got this young lady in her 30s that's just doing it. And that's what I admire. I mean, I see you doing it. You're always looking so professional. You always carry yourself the way a woman should carry herself that's in the profession business. And I just wanted to tell you that since we're finna go to a commercial break, I'm gonna be back with my girl, Nikki Smith. Welcome back to Peggy's Talk. I'm your girl, Peggy, your realtor and your designer, and I'm so happy to be back here with my girlfriend, good friend, Nikki Smith. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about how Nikki, you remember, we're gonna go ahead and put Nikki on the camera too, because this is Nikki, this is my girl, Nikki. Okay, I remember when me and Robin came to your house, Nikki, and we were just coming, we was gonna do what we were supposed to be doing.
A vision board.
A vision board.
I like to do business planning at the end of the year.
Right.
And so that's the hard part, but the vision board is the fun part of that process. So y'all came over and it was fun.
Yeah, she had it all spread it out all nice. You had us cakes. It looked like we was going to a whole little brunch. That's where you had it all. It was so cute. So is that something you just like to do for all your friends, or did you just do that for me and Robin since we was coming over?
Well, I'm very selective on who my friends are.
Well,
so I do like to. I'm a nurturer.
Right.
And so whenever I have company come over, and since I live so far above Houston, I do like to make it a pleasurable experience. So yes, I do a little what I call a spread for people to enjoy when they come visit the house.
Well, Nikki, I want you now to look into the camera and tell us all about you, because I want them to know all about Nikki and feel comfortable when they get ready to call Nikki for all their needs. So tell them everything about you.
Yeah, so again, I'm Nikki Smith, and I have been in Texas for about 10 years, and I'm a transplant from Arkansas.
Oh,
and so
I
went to high school and college in Arkansas as a result of both of my parents being in the military. So I was a military brat.
Oh.
Yes. And so I was brought up with a lot of structure.
No wonder. I thought you just something you just do.
No.
So now I know it's because you was raised like that, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes, I was raised to be prepared.
Okay.
And so I always feel like being prepared will make you successful in anything that you're doing. But growing up in the military, my dad is a helicopter pilot, and he retired. Yes. He is, and he still flies for a private company.
Okay.
And he retired, and then my mom retired after him, and we landed in Arkansas. I went to high school, and I went to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And so I wanted to be a CPA at the time, and I have an undergrad in accounting. And so when I was graduating, I went to this big this just job fair, and I just started handing out my resume to all the big four accounting firms in Little Rock, and I came across this retirement plan consulting firm, and they called me, and I took a leap, and because I had no idea what that industry was like, I took a leap and basically never looked back. So I was in the retirement plan industry for over 13 years. And I worked with mid-sized companies up to large institutions and bringing forth resources to their employees, to their retirement plan. So basically, I helped Americans retire without being poor.
Oh, wow. See, you're going to help me because you know I'll be 62, girl.
Yes.
This year, you got to help a sister. So you might know more things that I don't know. You can help me out. So go ahead.
Absolutely. Financial wellness is so important for people to understand what that means for them, and having the tools to be able to live their life the way they want to live, not worrying about what they're going to do from month to month, as well as when they get older, how to pay for medical expenses. So that is so important to Americans. And part of like building your wealth is investing in real estate.
Wow.
So hence why I got into real estate. My parents were able to build their wealth through real estate. So that piqued my interest at a younger age. And then when I became a little bit more comfortable in life, I was able to invest into my career in real estate.
Right.
So that's how I came to be here. After college, I followed my dad, which flies for a firm in Louisiana but is anchored in Houston.
Right.
And so once I followed him, I rock starred in the retirement plan industry.
Rock
And
star.
I
You
rock starred.
I like that word. I rock star.
Right.
I know that's right.
Right. And I always say, well, not always say, but I got this from a mentor early on. When I worked for a small investment firm when I was in my early 20s. And my mentor had told me to make sure you gain all the experience you can and the education you can in your 20s, and then in your 30s, you will negotiate and leverage that experience. So here I am. I was able to depart from the corporate America into a full-blown entrepreneur, helping others, lifting others up, leveraging my knowledge to be successful in commercial real estate.
And you doing it, girl. I love. I mean, I'm looking at them post all your beautiful things on Instagram and Facebook. But every time I see you, you always looking so professional. You're such a beautiful lady, and you carry yourself so well. I'm up here looking. I keep looking back at the pictures because I'm happy that they're showing everything about
that's
you.
cool.
So yeah. So why don't you? I don't know if you even finished talking about yourself because I want you to tell us everything about you. And then, before I ask you this question, I want to ask.
Yeah. So
tell me a little bit more.
a little bit more about me personally.
A little bit more about you. I want to know about you.
So, a lot of people want to know, I am married.
Yeah.
I'm happily married.
Yeah.
My husband is retired law enforcement.
Right.
Hence, which is it's a very unique coupling.
That's good.
Yes. And
he's a nice gentleman.
You met him.
Yeah.
Yes, he's awesome. He allows me to flourish in what I'm doing. He's fully supportive.
That's just so
and you
wonderful.
need that.
That's so wonderful to know a man that would support
Yes.
a sister to go up with us and not feel like intimidated and wanting you to be the best that you are, not putting that thumb down on you when you. And I'm seeing you flourish, and I'm thankful to see that happen because he's a very good guy.
I couldn't do it without a supportive partner. I'm remarried, so this is my second marriage.
Right.
And in my singledom time, I learned to know what I wanted, what I needed, and so he was perfect.
For you.
Yes, absolutely. Ladies, you have to make sure you are with a partner that's going to elevate you. And that means if it's just being supportive of your goals. And that's one of the reasons why I was able to take that big leap from corporate America.
Into focusing. That support. That support.
I have the support. And he has 5 adult children.
Right.
And through marriage, we have 6 grandchildren. And they're awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes, they keep us busy.
Girl, and I saw when I came over to your house, you have those cute little toys for them. And I'm going to go get into your little puppies in a few minutes. But first of all, one thing I want to ask, since we've been friends, you allowed me to work with you with my design. So how was that experience with working with me with doing your window treatments?
Yes. So when we met at the event, I think it was a residential section opening for First America Homes.
Okay.
You were passing out your flyers.
You know how
right?
I do. I'm gonna let everybody know what I do. Yeah.
Yes, you and your daughter Robin were passing out your flyers for your window treatment service.
Right.
And so when I am referring partners to clients, I like to patronize them myself.
Right.
Just so I understand what the process looks like for you and how you are servicing your clients.
Right.
So I enjoyed the process with you because you were very personable.
Yeah.
And what I love is you're very knowledgeable about your product because it is a legacy company.
Right.
And I think what attracted me was the fact that you know, we all talk about legacy, and that you're continuing your legacy from your mother.
Yes, yeah.
And when you came over to do like your discovery meeting, or consultation,
my consultation with you,
and you just came in, and you were like, you need to do this, and you need to make sure you had a vision already,
right.
after you seen our home. So I enjoyed that process. I enjoyed the constant contact that you had, and updating me about the progress of those beautiful draperies
that you got in your home
that I have.
Yeah.
I get so many compliments.
Keep communicating.
Yes, you communicate.
I think that's important. I think if you working with someone, you don't want them just be so worried about what is the next step, what's going to happen, or whatever. But I really appreciate you giving me that opportunity.
Yeah, of course.
But can you tell them a little bit about your babies, those little puppies?
Oh, my Frenchies.
Please, I know. I want them to know about these puppies. So go ahead and tell them about it.
I light up just thinking about them.
Okay.
I'm thinking about them now because they're at home, and the little one is probably mad. So I have 2 French bulldogs.
Oh God.
Gucci.
Gucci.
Gucci and Zuko,
Okay.
and Gucci will be 2 years old in 3 days. Well, no, not in 3 days. That's what I'm thinking. March 10th.
March 10th. Okay.
So he's a Pisces like me.
Okay. Miss Pisces.
And so Zuko turned 1 in November.
Okay.
And
So she's a Scorpio like me. Okay.
Yes, he's a Scorpio, and he is a firecracker.
Oh Lord,
He is something else.
That's what Scorpios are.
Oh yes, y'all are a lot of fire. I don't mess with y'all.
No, we good. We so
y'all good,
unless you make us mad.
Exactly.
Like, if you got him mad, he gonna destroy something, right?
He does.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Whenever I
was
leave,
playing.
he's probably doing that. He's probably destroying something now as we speak.
Oh, don't say that.
Because he's a mommy's baby.
Yeah, but just be sweethearts. I bet he is.
No, he's very sweet.
Yeah.
So when I'm gone,
boys, right?
he's had separation anxiety, so he tears up some things. But when I'm there, all he wants to do is be on mommy in my lap and cuddle. So I love my little Zuko. But yeah, I have 2 French bulldogs that are quirky. They're hilarious. It's almost like the best breed to have.
No, you think so?
Oh yeah. They're very affectionate, and they're good with the little children. And they are, like I said, they're affectionate, but they're funny. Like, they're hilarious. They're so goofy.
You're having that much fun. Well,
Yes.
we almost been getting ready to go to another commercial break.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is tell people how to get into this industry. You know, how did you jump in there? Why would they want to jump into the industry and commercial?
Yeah, so if you're wanting to invest in commercial real estate, the first thing you want to do is to track your income. You want to make sure you are outlining your income and that you have verifiable income, that you're enlisting your expenses, so that you can have that prepared if in the need you need to invest in real estate.
Right.
You can identify the type of or how much cash you have to be able to invest in real estate.
Right.
The next thing you want to do is, if you're not using your cash, which that's a whole nother conversation about how do you leverage debt and versus cash to invest. The second thing you want to do is get a pre-approval from a trusted lender. And if you don't have one, then just reach out to your trusted broker. And you can always call me if you have any questions or who to go to for commercial lending. Okay. Third, you want to analyze what your risk tolerance is, because depending on the type of investment will require a certain risk level. And knowing that up front, then you can have an idea of what type of investment you would purchase or get into. And then you want to make sure that you are identifying any current trends, which I stated earlier. If you don't know where to go or to start, definitely right now, industrial and multifamily properties have been very successful for investors. And then lastly, just be patient with the process. Commercial real estate doesn't move just as fast as residential.
Okay.
So make sure that you keep a level head. It is less emotional than residential. You want to make sure that you have your analytical hat on and you're focusing on your bottom line, and how you'll come out after you've been in that investment for a while, depending on your goals. But I would say, if you have any questions about investing in commercial real estate, please feel welcome to reach out to me. My number is, you can text or call me at 832-447-6589, or you can email me at at thenikkismith.com.
TheNikkiSmith.com.
Or you can go to my website.
I love it.
You can go to my website. You can learn more about me and set up schedule a strategy call on my website, which is www.thenikkismith.com.
Well, Nikki, I want to thank you again for coming on to my show. You know you're beautiful. I love them smiles.
Thank
I
you.
love everything about you, and I'm very appreciative.
Well,
that
no,
you
I
came on.
appreciate you, and I'm honored that you asked me to come on the show with you. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, well, that's good.
Always.
So we are now going to go to our commercial break, and I want to thank Nikki Smith again for being with me, guys, and I'll be right back with you.